Mm-hmm.
Is it counting down? Mm-hmm. Okay. Hi, everyone. How are we doing today?
Good.
That wasn't good enough. How are we doing today?
Good.
There we go. So, we learned a lot already today. A lot from some old dead guys. So let's bring a little new school. I'm so excited to be here today. Like, this is so cool. Being part of Cal State San Bernardino's first tech fair. Like, that's so awesome. We came here today to learn something, right? We came here today to support and celebrate education, even if you didn't really feel like you were doing that. We came here today to support and celebrate STEM. I mean, it's mostly tech, but STEM, right? So science, tech, engineering, math. And that's why Make the Mainstream is here today. So my name is Danielle, and I am the founder and only employee of Make the Mainstream. And we support and celebrate females in STEM through tutoring and STEM education. So we provide females with the tools that they need to be the best female in STEM they can be and the best tutor that they can be. But I see my male friends in the room right now. I'm not just talking to the females today, I am talking to you guys too. Because STEM is for everyone. Tutoring is for everyone. So we know that education is important, especially if you want to pursue a STEM field, because they require higher education. I mean, that's why we're here at this university. But education just doesn't have to be from a classroom. Education can be from things like this event. It can be from peers, from working together, from activities that we do, like we're going to do today. And it can be from speakers. Ayo. But what I think the most important form of education is personal education. Education that is designed specifically for an individual so they can pursue an academia in whatever way that means for them. So that's what Make the Mainstream is doing. We want to provide you guys with the tools so you can go out there and be the best tutor, because you're all very well qualified. Education is not just this word that we should throw around. Like, it's really important, and having personal tutors can make education so much better. So we're not a tutoring company. Like, we don't supply tutors and we don't give tutors to other people or find tutors for you. We give you the tools to be the tutor that you want to be in whatever way that means for you. And so that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. How you can be a STEM tutor, how all of you can be a STEM tutor, and hopefully by the end of this, you'll have the tools that you need to at least get started. So I ditched my slides because I didn't really want it to be much of a lecture. I just want to have this be like a conversation with you guys. And I want to tell you my story, because my journey with tutoring started a long time ago. School's rough, y'all. Like, let's be real. Okay. I was not smart. Like, I was just a complete, like, dumb as a post, right? I was not smart at all. In second grade, didn't know how to read. So I went to preschool, to kindergarten, to first grade, couldn't read. 3 years of actual education and I can't read. Math didn't click for me until my senior year of high school. It just wasn't gonna work out. So education was rough, school was really hard, but something weird happened. I was chosen to be a tutor for my junior high school in 8th grade. Any guesses on what I tutored?
History?
No, it was math. So, okay, it's really weird. Why am I tutoring math? I just told you it didn't click for me until my senior year of high school. So history would have made sense. But no, it was math. And maybe it's because I'm charismatic, because yes, I do have this energy at all times. Maybe it was because I was sympathetic, but I think the real reason is because I knew exactly what it was like to be on the other side of the table. I knew what it was like to have no idea what was going on, to completely not understand. But I also knew what it was like to finally get a concept, because that's so exciting. When you're finally like, oh, hey, yeah, I get that. So I was tutored all through my academic career, after school programs, friends and family, but mostly personal tutors. And then I became a personal tutor. And I can happily and proudly say that last year I graduated from UC Riverside, so basically just down the street, whoop, whoop, with my Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering and my minor in Mathematics. So the person who couldn't read, the person that math just wasn't going to work out for, is standing in front of you today as an engineer, a mathematician, and now an entrepreneur. And it's all because of tutoring. Tutoring is the only reason why I'm here today. Being a tutor and having personal tutors. Because I think that having personal tutors was helpful in school, obviously, right? I had people by my side to help me. But being a personal tutor, I think, helped me even more. Because when you become a tutor, it develops yourself as an academic, an authority figure, a mentor, a leader. You are working on your social skills, you're learning patience, you're learning empathy, you're learning sympathy, you're learning responsibility, which is really important, especially for 8th grade me, right? You're learning how to explain the same thing thousands of different ways because it's personal education, so it has to make sense to you. And then I explain the same thing, it has to make sense to you, and your brains are completely different, and we can go through the whole room. So, tutoring is so important, you guys. And if you're not a tutor right now, you should be. And that's what I want to say. So let's talk about how can we be a STEM tutor. And you can apply this to any kind of tutoring, but we're in STEM here, so we're going to be focused with that. So there's really only 3 things that you need to get. No, there's really only 3 decisions you have to make and 2 things that you need to obtain in order to be a tutor. 1, decide what you want to tutor. So decide your subject expertise. 2, decide the age group that you want to tutor. Because you could say, okay, I want to do math, but what kind of math? Well, algebra, but what kind of algebra? So you have to decide, who's your audience. And then you need to decide who you want to work for or where you want to work. Step 4 is you need to get clients, right? Because we're trying to get paid here, trying to make some money. We're all broke college students. And we need people to tutor. And then 5 is get resources. Okay, so step 1, decide your subject expertise. So a lot of people are going to tell you, tutor what you're best in, which is really good advice. But I can't tell you that, because if you were listening to my story, I didn't tutor what I was best in. I was tutoring math, right? We learned that I was stupid, okay? And I am still tutoring math. I tutored what I needed to get better in. I thought I hated math for a really long time. But now that's one of the reasons why I love tutoring it. Because, well, most people don't. Math? Ugh. But she's like, I got it. But also, most people think that they hate math too. And I love changing people's mindsets. Because I could go on this for hours. You guys, math is the coolest shit. Excuse my language. But it is awesome. We use it every day. It's all around us. Ugh, I love changing people's mindsets and then being like, oh yeah, you're right. It is cool. So my advice, because I can't tell you to tutor what you are best in, is tutor what you're confident in and tutor what you're comfortable with. See, I was confident in math and comfortable with math, even if it was the fact that I was confident that it was hard. But I was comfortable and confident in it because I had been tutored in it for so long. So when I went to go tutor, I was like, oh, I got this. It's going to be awesome. So confidence, comfortability, those are very important to ensure your success as a tutor. Okay, 2, we need to decide our age group. So I really like tutoring high school and college students because I feel like I can be more myself. This is a little much for the younger generation. I find that I can help them with personal issues that they may be going through because I wasn't in college or high school too long ago. I'm fairly sarcastic and I like to make a lot of jokes, so I feel like I fit in well. Junior high school students, I really like working on their confidence because confidence is key to everything in life. But I'm also a very awkward person. You saw me standing up here at the beginning, it was a little bit uncomfortable. So sometimes my teaching and their learning just clash. Anyone younger, I like being a kid again, I like, playing games with them. But again, I find I can't really be my true self, and to me, teaching without true authenticity just doesn't make any sense. But you're not me, okay? So whoever you prefer to teach is entirely your own preference. You could like teaching people who are older than you, because there's people who are coming back to school as well. So when you're deciding on your age group, just kind of like pick like, okay, what do you think you do best in? Because don't let the fact that you might not know who you want to teach or who is appropriate for you to teach deter you from actually starting tutoring. Okay, so step 3, decide where you want to work or decide who you want to work for. There's a lot of different options, but these 3 I think are the most prevalent in the US, and I've worked for all 3 just because I had to test the waters, I had to figure out what worked for me, and just, again, who I tutored best and how I tutored best. So as a freelance tutor, you make all the rules. You decide how much you get paid, which is very nice. You decide your clients, you decide the lesson plans, the materials you get to use, everything. But you are also their only line of defense. So you're the only one that they talk to. You're the only one that they send complaints to, which is not very fun. But you're also the only one that they send praise to. And that's always just a good confidence booster. For online companies, so you are an independent contractor, you get paired up with students and they see students in your area, or you could do with online meetings. Sometimes your availability is all that you can really go off of. You might not get to choose your own schedule. Your paycheck is probably going to be less. The company definitely gets more, and they might not take as much money out of your check for tax purposes as necessary, so just watch out for that. That was a mistake that I made. For brick and mortar tutoring companies or physical locations, this is going to change for the company, but you'll probably have a steadier paycheck because you have a set schedule, set hours that you're going to be going in. Your clients could be different, or you could have the same kind of clients every time. So those are the 3 different types of tutoring places that you can work for. So that's step 3, decide where you want to work, and do you want to work for yourself or do you want to work for someone else, which is a very important distinction. And then step 4, we're getting to the good stuff. We got to get clients. We got to get people so we can get paid, and because we're not doing this for free. I mean, I'm a good person, okay, but my time is worth something, and my expertise, my brains, are worth something, the knowledge that I have. So we also got to get people so we can just be a tutor, right? We need each other. So this will depend again on, are you freelance? Are you an independent contractor online? Are you working for a physical brick and mortar location? So freelance, you're making all the rules. You also got to find your own clients. So you need a little bit of self-marketing. But you can do this in a lot of different ways. I find that these have worked for me the best. That makes sense. These 3 options have worked best for me. You can post on social media because it's here and let's use it. It's a great tool. You can talk to your friends and family because should always be the first line of defense. Or just plaster posters or flyers all around campus. Get the school's permission first, because again, that's a mistake that I made. But you already know that people are here. You already know people are struggling. You already know people need your help, so that is a great place for you to be like, hi, I exist, and I'm here to help you. For an online company, they're going to match you up with clients. So you're going to fill out a profile with like your contact information, your availability, your subject expertise, which we decided in step 1, and your teaching style as well. So they'll match you up kind of like a dating app with a student. So you find students that have the skills, that your skills benefit the most. You should also have the ability to turn down a client if you think that you're not going to help them, because some tutoring companies will have more sophisticated algorithms than others. For a physical brick and mortar location, this is all kinds of things. So you could have a one-on-one, you could have a small group, You could just be wandering around a classroom like this and answering questions when they come up. You could do all of the things. It could change from a day to day, from a month to month. Your students could change at all times. It really depends on the actual location. So if you go into an interview, or you can also ask them there, or you can look on their website and they should say how their tutoring services are organized. All right, so we decided what we're gonna tutor. We decided who we're gonna tutor. We decided where we're gonna tutor. And we know how to get our clients when we go to that place. But Danielle, I have so many more questions. I don't have any tutoring experience. How do I get any? And all of the laundry list of things, of questions when you start out on a new venture. This is where I come in. So step 5 is get resources. So that's why Make Them Mainstream exists. We exist to support and celebrate females in STEM, but also to support and celebrate tutors and educators, to get you out there so you can be an academic, a mentor, a leader, and all of the great things that you want to be. Because remember, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't because of tutoring. So on the website, we have free checklists, we have free articles, we have free presentations. Also, you guys can just start right away. Get some of your questions answered. We have an article specifically that's everyone has to start somewhere, gaining tutoring experience when you don't got any. We also are creating products. So we have teaching tools that don't feel like teaching tools. And we're a very new company. And when I say we, I do mean me. So this is one of our first products, and it's a STEM coloring and activity book, and I know it doesn't look like much. But again, it's a teaching tool that's not supposed to feel like a teaching tool. So we got all kinds of cool things in here. I highly suggest you come and check it out at the end. It talks about females in STEM. It's all about STEM. And coloring, you guys, I didn't know this, but coloring has so many educational benefits. It develops fine motor skills, self-expression, creativity. There's so many things. We have a lot of articles about that on our website as well. So, but this is for the student, and you're also telling them like, hey, it's okay to have fun when you're learning, because it's a fun leisure activity. If you start your tutoring sessions out with something like that, your students are gonna feel like, okay, obviously if you're tutoring people younger, your age, we're still working on stuff, but they're gonna be like, okay, it's okay to have fun. You know, it's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to ask questions and get curious. And that's like literally the point of that book. But that's for the students. So what about you guys? You guys need stuff too. So we're also creating a product called How to Be a Tutor course. And it's gonna talk about stuff like this that we talked about today. So how to get clients, how to make money tutoring, how do I even have the confidence to be a tutor, because that's super important. We're gonna talk about all of that stuff. So to answer your guys' questions, it's going to be online, it's going to be self-paced, and it's going to be available at the end of May. So it's not ready just yet. But as an added bonus, if you liked seeing me, I will be there to answer any questions, concerns, or comments, no matter how long it takes you. You want to take 20 years to complete that course, you go right ahead. There's also going to be a community designed specifically for the people taking that course. So you can help develop each other as tutors and mentors, because I'm only one person. I only have my experiences. So you need to find out, like, okay, well, just because Danielle said something doesn't mean that he or she over there didn't have a different perspective. Because representation matters, diversity matters, especially in our thoughts when we're trying to develop ourselves as an individual in anything that we're doing. So that's what we got, lots of stuff. But until then, okay, that's not available till May. What do we have for you right now? So many free resources, you guys. Articles to answer your questions, like I said, checklists and presentations. And I'm trying to create all kinds of free stuff for you guys and give you as much value as possible so you can go out and be the most kick-ass tutor that you can be. Because I've been a tutor for over 13 years, and I kind of bumbled my way through it. So I want to give you guys all the knowledge that I have. So that's it. I will be here to answer any questions you guys have. Let's come and take pictures together, because again, social media matters, okay? And yeah, if you have any questions, or if you want to check out the coloring book, buy the coloring book, sign up for learning more information about the course, you can do that right now. So thank you guys so much. Happy tutoring. Yes?
How much is the contract?
It is $10. It's $9.95 if you buy it online, but then the company I'm selling them through, I'm not a true fan of, so it's also like saving shipping and handling and all that stuff too, because that's annoying. And there's no tax, so that's good. Any other questions for anyone who came in a little bit later? You want a brief run through about what we just talked about?
Yes, please.
Okay, how to be a tutor. 3 things you need to decide. 2 things you need to get. What do you want to teach? Who do you want to teach? Where do you want to teach? Get clients. Get resources. My name is Danielle. I'm the founder of Make Them Mainstream, supporting and celebrating females in STEM through tutoring and STEM education. Yeah, I'm practiced. We have all the resources you need to be the best tutor that you can be, and the best female in STEM that you can be.
You still have about 10 minutes.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah.
How did you determine your prices when you started?
Oh my God, such a good question. Okay. Prices. So when I started in 8th grade, because that's when I started tutoring, my compensation was I didn't have to take health, which kind of sucked in high school. And I was like, what are these things? But as I went through, when I was tutoring in college, the ATMs at UCR only give you 20s. So I charged $20. And it's really complex, you guys, I know. But yeah, I was just like, oh, they can get a $20 bill. It's not a big deal. If I'm tutoring people who are getting sponsored or, because I'm trying to help my fellow college student out as well, but if I'm tutoring people who are sponsored or who have their parents helping them out, so if we're talking like high school or younger or even college, I usually charge a little bit more. I would say if you have a bachelor's degree, like 35 is the minimum. Because what happens is, like, if you are charging, if I charge $20, but the person next to me who could look just like me charges $20, we have the same, or charges $35, we have the same experience, they're probably going to get picked over me because they value themselves more. So it's this really fine line of, like, even, it's that conversation as well as, like, well, how do I ask for a raise? Which is really hard. We're going to have, in the course, we're going to have a chart that's going to go through, like, okay, if you have these criteria, if you've been tutoring for this long, start there. Safe bet, easy answer, $20. And if they're like, oh, that's so cheap, knock it up. If they're like, wow, that's a lot, then maybe they're not the right client for you because, I mean, again, we ain't doing this for free. Any other questions? Yeah.
Tips for like tutoring subjects you're not too strong in? Because I'm currently a tutor.
Okay.
But I got put into a position where I have to teach or tutor a large like spectrum of classes.
Yeah.
Some of them I'm not as comfortable tutoring.
Dude. Yeah, I get that. So I have tutored a lot of different things. I mostly tutor math, but I've taught like penmanship. Mostly because of this specific girl that I was tutoring could not read her writing. So we broke it down. We went taught penmanship. So if you have to be prepared. So I would say, I know you got a good course load probably going on, but if you're tutoring a subject, make sure to ask for all of the worksheets that their professors or teachers are giving them so you can at least leaf through them, even if it's just at the beginning of the session. A really good, like, kind of ninja secret, make them teach you. Because teaching is the best learning tool. And that's why I became a good mathematician, is because I had no idea what I was doing, but I was teaching it anyway. So have them teach you, then you get a little bit of ninja-ness. Come prepared if you can, if you have access to their teachers, if you have access to the professors, be like, yo, I'm tutoring this subject. Is there anything that you want me to go over? And then just like Spark Notes, quick Google search, idiots' guides to insert subject here saved my life. Because they break it down. And I got no problem flaunting around an idiot thing. I just told you all that I was stupid. So they break things down really well. Even if you're just like on a budget, flip through at Barnes & Noble and just take some quick pictures. I didn't say that, Barnes & Noble, if you're watching. Yeah. I mean, I get it, you guys. Like, it's a struggle. That's why we need to make some money and tutor. Any other questions? Yeah.
When you're an independent tutor, how do you...
Like for online or freelance?
Either way.
Okay.
How do you show your credentials and prove that you're a valuable tutor?
Okay, so now that I have a degree, I can be like, ah! But when I didn't, I would just say, you know, I've been a tutor for X amount of years, these are the subjects that I tutored, this is my teaching style, and I would go in more in depth, and I would say it before they even ask for it. Because if you're telling them up front, this is how I do it, this is what I'm doing, and this is why, then, I mean, it's kind of just like they have to believe you, but then you have to go and actually prove that you can do that. So if they want physical credentials, if you've had clients before, go back, ask them to write some letters of rec, ask them to, I don't know, rate you on your Facebook page. Definitely post, like, if you're going to be a tutor, on all your social medias, and then you can have people be like, yes, like they were awesome, you know, have your own little Yelp site. Yeah, so I would say just talk to your clients as much as possible and form a relationship with them, the student, and if it's a parent who's paying, definitely talk to them because they're actually more beneficial because they can talk to like their other parent friends and be like, oh no, this tutor is actually really cool. And you can ask, so if you're like, you tutored student A, but now you're tutoring student B and they're like, I don't believe you, then just ask student A if they can like contact you or contact them and let them know. Yeah.
Just piggybacking off of his question, could you possibly do like a feedback thing after every, like,
of course,
person you tutor?
Of course, yeah. So you can be super like old school and just like print out some pieces of paper or even just like write out a document that's saying like, oh, like what was your experience with me 1 to 10? SurveyMonkey is a really good website that I'm actually using to like get feedback from my readers, and it's free, so you can use that as well. Again, I know Facebook has like rating options, but to get actual feedback, like print out a Word doc that you make yourself, just like what did you learn the most from me today, or what did you get the most out of, like how would you rate me, how would you any questions that you can come up with. And also when you're tutoring, if you're a freelance tutor and you don't have someone else keeping track of the money that you're making, make invoices, and in those invoices, this is also going to be in the course, we have pre-made invoices for you guys, a comment section that's like, this is what they learned today, this was their exact words on like, because it's not always going to be good, right? But sometimes their parents or they want to know like, okay, today sucked, but next week we're going to get better. So you can write their comments in your comments and their comments in that section as well, so you can keep it for your records. Yeah.
You keep mentioning course. Like, what do you mean by course?
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so I'm creating a how to be a tutor course that's going to go on sale in May. It's going to be online and self-paced. And so in there, it's going to have like modules and lessons and lectures and stuff and presentations with free downloadable stuff that come with the course. So like how to make an invoice, the video just on that. And then right after that, you'll have an actual invoice that I use, and then a customizable one as well. And like a chart on how much you think that or how much you should get paid and things like that. So it breaks you down on like the questions that you guys are asking today, but it's going to be like an online course. Does that make sense? Did I answer your question? Okay. Yeah, 2 minutes. Any other questions? Okay, yeah.
What's a good way to practice on tutoring someone? Like, what would you recommend?
Ooh, really good. So if you're in study groups, just take charge. Just be like, you guys, I'm trying to be a tutor, or just do it without them even knowing. And come with already knowing the material. Come with questions that you have for them. And just tutor with your friends right there. So if you're like nervous about, going out and being a tutor, you can do your small group right there in a study group. Work on the homework problems together, stuff like that. But to be completely honest, the best way to get experience, just go do it. Because you are going to learn way more on the job than you will if you're just kind of like floating about to like different study groups. Because when you're on the job, you're also like forced to know what's going on. So yeah, I would just say just start. and be honest, like be as transparent as possible. Be like, this is my first tutoring session. If I suck, I'm sorry, but we're gonna get better together. And plus, it makes you more human. And I find when I'm very much like, I don't know how to do this, that my students actually learn better from me. When I'm honest with them, if I don't understand something, or if it's my first time doing a specific subject. Okay. Cool. So let's take some pictures, please. Come out, let's take some selfies together. Snapchat filters, like whatever you want. Like, let's come up here. If you want to take a look at the coloring book, please do. If you want to sign up for, I think I forgot my sign-up sheet. For just more information on the course, let me know, and we will do that. We take Venmo, cash, and all major debit and credit cards. That's so fun to say because I literally bought it yesterday, and my company's 4 months old, so this is really cool. Okay, thank you guys so much. Can I get a picture? Yeah.
No, like you.
Oh. My foot's all raised. I'm like,